What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler here. And today, this is another episode of Too Much News. And today, we have a lot of interesting news. We have a new possible IPOs coming in 2019. And in case you don't know what an IPO is, it is an initial public offering, and it's when a company goes public in the stock market. Also, we have news on why the stocks are rising today. We have some Trump tax cut news. Also, we have 15 companies that are hiring with jobs paying over $100,000 a year and many more. So stay tuned. But first, we're going to look at the markets today. So now we have the S&P 500 up 6 points, the Dow Jones up 80 points, 2.13%. Bitcoin is currently down $49. So we kind of started the market off green, and now it seems like we're slowly starting to decline throughout the day. But now let's start off with the new IPO. So this is a new IPO. Gene maker Levi Strauss files for stock market comeback. So I'm just going to skim past this, and I'm going to talk about other possible IPOs coming this year, which are with the IPO filing, the company joins a list of high-profile companies seeking to go public this year, including Uber Technologies, Lyft, Pinterest, and Airbnb. So let me know what you guys think about these IPOs. Which ones are you looking most forward to? And that's it for this one. Also, before we get this video started, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Other article, we have lots of news, so I'm just going to skim past all this stuff right here. Stocks rise as Trump signals China trade flexibility. So stocks extended gains and chased the rally in most Asian equity indices as President Donald Trump signaled he may be open to extending a deadline on the U.S.-China trade war ceasefire. So the S&P 500 rose. At this point, it was rising, but as we can see, it's slowly declining. Trump on Tuesday told reporters from multiple outlets that he would be open to pushing back the current early March deadline to reach a trade deal with China. The administration was previously expected to raise the rate on tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods if an agreement was not worked on by the beginning of March. So if you guys want to read this full article, just check out Stocks Rise as Trump signals China trade flexibility. So let's move on to some more Trump news, which is the Trump tax cuts are still bombing. The Trump tax cuts passed in 2017 put fresh money into the economy and juiced growth last year. But if the Trump tax cuts were a consumer product, they'd be Google Glass, New Coke, or an Edsel. The branding flopped, the promise failed to materialize, and the overeager promoters failed to understand what the market really wanted. The tax cuts are causing fresh problems for Republicans now that the tax returns are filtering in and many Americans are getting smaller returns than they're used to. There's a proposal to raise taxes on the wealthy, ranging from Elizabeth Warren's wealth tax to a sharp hike in the top income tax rate. Voters are fine with this. A variety of polls show that upward of 70% of Americans favor higher taxes on the rich. That's far more than the portion, however, favored the Trump tax cuts. And sooner or later, somebody will come along who knows how to read the market and provide what the people want. So what do you guys think? I'm pretty sure everyone thinks that the rich should be taxed more than people who are making less money. That's pretty common sense to me. And hopefully America starts. So on other news, so Apple's CEO Tim Cook and IBM Ginni Rometty were among 25 members appointed in Trump's American Workforce Policy Advisory Board. The U.S. Department of Commerce announced Wednesday. The board will be co-chaired by Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross and the president's daughter and advisory Ivanka Trump. The board will make recommendations on policies that would help bridge the skill gaps between American students and workers and jobs needed in the modern economy. So two prominent tech leaders are joining President Donald Trump's advisory board to direct the future of the workforce policy, the U.S. Department of Commerce announced Wednesday. Apple CEO Tim Cook and IBM CEO Ginni Rometty are among the 25 members appointed to the American Workforce Policy Advisory Board, which will work to develop and implement a strategy to revamp the American workforce to better meet the challenges of the 21st century. According to the announcement, the board will be co-chaired by Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, the president's daughter, and advisor Ivanka Trump. And if you guys want to check out this full article, just type this in: Apple and IBM CEO join Trump's advisory board to make sure AI doesn't kill jobs. And now this is some pretty interesting news. It's about 15 companies hiring the most jobs, paying over $100,000 in February. So if you guys are looking for a job that pays over $100,000, so I'm going to name you the 15 companies that are hiring the most. Maybe before we get this started, why don't you guys take a guess, and which company do you think has the most $100,000 paying jobs? And it might be a pretty obvious one. So let's just get this article started. The first quarter of the year is one of the best times to find a new job, and so far 2019 is shaping up to be a solid year for job seekers. According to the Labor Department, there were a record-breaking 7.3 million job openings in December, and unemployment is just 4%. But wages are just beginning to budge, which means one of the only ways for many workers to earn a raise is to get a new job. Fortunately, high demand for highly skilled workers means there's lots of companies willing to pay six-figure salaries for the right candidate. Job site ladders, which specialize in high-paying jobs, analyzed thousands of job openings and found that 15 companies stand out for posting the most jobs with six-figure salaries. So here are the 15 companies hiring the most jobs, paying over $100,000 a year in February. So let's start with number 15, which is Wipro Technologies, which has over 855 jobs available that are paying over $100,000 a year. I'm not going to read the companies unless it's some interesting companies. So Lockheed Martin has over 869 jobs. Leidos Holdings has over 869 jobs as well. Tata Consultancy has over 893 jobs available. Verizon has over 935 jobs available. Banfield Pet Hospital has over 1,049 jobs available. CBS Help has over 1,125 jobs available. Raytheon has over 1,178 jobs available. Hospital Corporation of America, HCA, has 1,187 jobs available. Apple has over 1,200 jobs available, and they're in sixth place. So now we're moving into top five. Microsoft, which is number 5, has 1,202 jobs available that are paying over $100,000 a year. Facebook is number 4 with 1,209 jobs available. Number 3 is Oracle with 1,283 jobs available. And number 2 is Infosys with 1,361 jobs available. So take a guess. What do you think number 1 is? And if you guys guessed Amazon, you guys would have been correct. So Amazon has over 1,818 jobs available that are paying over $100,000 a year. So the company mission statement is to be Earth's most customer-centric company where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online to offer its customers the lowest possible prices. So if you guys guessed Amazon, that would be it. So most of the jobs that Amazon will be putting into place in New York and Northern Virginia will be higher end, more professional service equivalent jobs rather than warehousing or distribution jobs. Amazon has been clear that their choice in location was based on the quality of talent in those geographies. Given that, they are going to be competing for the best talent in those geographies, which will only bid up salaries. Other well-known tech companies also made ladders listing, including Facebook, Microsoft, and Apple. All those companies have over 1,000 openings for jobs that pay more than $100,000 a year. So there you have it. 3 companies in the States that are paying over $100,000 a year: Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and also don't forget Microsoft. So yes, those are 4 companies that are paying over $100K a year. So if you guys want to look into that, you can look into those companies, see if you qualify. Maybe you could get a 6-figure salary. Who knows? So now let's move on to the next article, which is Apple versus Google. One clear winner. So Apple and Alphabet are the 2 biggest companies in the world. A closer look at the 2 companies with the aim of finding the better investment. Why Alphabet is a better investment than Apple. So Apple and Alphabet are 2 members of the exclusive fan club. The 2 companies have market capitalization of more than $806 billion and $763 billion respectively, and are some of the most followed companies in Wall Street year to date. The stock prices of the 2 companies have gained by 8% and 6% respectively. A while back, after I published this article on Apple, a reader sent me a message asking me to compare which company between Apple and Alphabet was a better investment. In this article, I will compare the 2 companies and conclude with one I would recommend as a long-term investment. So I'm just going to go straight to the conclusion. This is a pretty long article. If you want to read the whole thing, you guys are welcome to read it. So let's go straight to the verdict. The 2 companies are facing a number of challenges. Apple is facing the challenge of slowing iPhone sales, and this week it was revealed that a number of its apps are recording user screen without their permission. This is risky for Apple and a company that has long associated itself as a champion of privacy. Apple also faces the challenge of coming up with a high margin hardware product like the iPhone. Its recent attempts to get into the smart speaker industry has not been very successful. Alphabet, on the other hand, faces the challenge of regulations. In recent years, this company has received hefty fines from the European Union, and the more similar fines are expected. The company will also be the biggest casualty on the proposed Article 13 rule by the Union. It also is facing some scrutiny from lawmakers from a number of countries on the spread of fake news through its platforms. The 2 companies face the challenge of companies like Netflix and Epic Games, owner of Fortnite, moving away the respective app store. So the verdict is Alphabet wins. To be clear, Google and Apple are great companies that have changed the world for the better. The two companies have also faced a number of challenges on the privacy issue and regulations. However, as an investment, I believe that Google is a better company to own than Apple. First, the company has more than 109 billion in cash and very little debt. This means that Google will probably start returning cash to its investors in form of dividends within a few years. Second, Google continues to have the biggest market share in online ads, and there is no close competitor. This is unlike Apple, whose core product is facing a major threat from other phone manufacturers like I can't say this, Huawei, I like to say Hawaii, Samsung, and OnePlus. Third, as mentioned above, Google is more diversified company than Apple, generating income from both enterprise clients and individuals. Fourth, Google has invested billions into research areas focused on solutions, healthcare, and life sciences, among other areas. These investments could help Google become the largest player in these industries. So there you go. That's your verdict. Apple versus Google. According to this article, Google wins. So if you guys want to check out this full article, you guys can type out this title on Google, which is Apple versus Google, one clear winner. And the irony that you're going to use Google to type this title in. The last article for Too Much News, I was going to add marijuana articles into this, but I feel like we're going to be running up too much time. So I'm going to have another video coming up with just news on the marijuana industry. So it's Apple rumored to launch subscription news at March 25th event. AirPods 2 and new iPad mini not expected. So if you guys were expecting those AirPods 2 to be on the March 25th event, you're not going to see it. Well, according to this article. So the event will be services focused, the highlight being the debut of paid Apple News subscription. So citing multiple sources that can plan. The plan could be called Apple News Magazine and grant people access to a variety of magazines and newspapers for $10 a month. So Apple wants to make their own news subscription, charging people $10 a month. I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this. I personally won't be interested in this because I don't know why I would pay Apple $10 a month to give me news when I can easily look it up for free on Google. So let me know what you guys think about these services that Apple's going to offer. It might be good. Some people might be willing to pay for it. I personally won't. Would you guys pay $10 a month for Apple News services? Anyways, that's it for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that notification bell and smash that subscribe button. I'm going to try to post another video on marijuana news next. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.